I believe people turn on radio to be entertained, to be entertained, to be entertained. And no matter what they're turning it on for, what kind of programming, it has to entertain them. Callers are like records on a music station. You play the top 10. You don't take bad calls. You don't just sit there and open the lines and say, okay, what do you want to talk about? When you invest in callers, your whole hope or your whole chance for success, you're going to fail. You have to lead them. You can't get along without them, and I don't disparage them, but you can't let them control the show. And that's another thing different about WABC. For the longest time, I guess the people who have worked there, and some of them who still do, simply open the phones and deal with what they get. And so people are used to calling WABC and making speeches about whatever else. I want people calling because they're reacting to what is happening on my program, not what happened yesterday on somebody else's, not what happened on the guy before me. If I'm not stirring them up, and that doesn't mean being negative and pounding them, if I'm not making them compelled to call, I'm not doing my job, is the way I look at it.
Well, I don't know if we put out the word and we're hoping to take some calls. If any come in, I guess we'll get a signal. But now you're very theatrical too. Do you have any aspirations to be an actor? Because you do voices and you cry and I mean mock kind of tears over things and you bang the table and you can really sort of imagine you gyrating, or, you know, thrashing.
Well,
around
I
the
do.
studio.
I'm a very physical host. I have no desire to be an actor. I have just December 6th, actually December 5th, I signed a 4-year developmental deal with Lorimar Telepictures to perhaps put together a television show that incorporates many elements of the radio show. Because I really do think that my particular radio talk show is different from others in many respects. The updates are one. I mean, and the homeless update is just one that we do. We also do condom updates. We do...
I think Gorbasm is
Gorbasm. Well,
renowned.
you don't hear the condom update because the management at WABC is a little queamish about it. I save it for the national show. But condom update has Up, Up, and Away and My Beautiful Balloon as the theme. The Gorbasm is a bit designed to tell people that Gorbachev's no different than any other Soviet leader except he's alive, and if you want to put your hope in him for peace, you deserve it. And I try to also have a little fun with all these issues rather than take everything, including myself, so seriously. So the key in doing a TV show is finding a way to transfer those things I do on radio. I mean, I never have guests. I never do interviews. And a lot of what I do on radio requires people's imagination to be fruitful.
I think we might have a call, excuse me.
We have one?
Well, I'm sorry, well, one slipped by on hold. I've heard you mention that, well actually there was a couple of days that you I forget which day it was, but you just said it was the worst day of your life in the studio. And what's that attributed? Just bad callers or people that just don't get it? Or
well, no, it was, see, there are bad callers, but in the final analysis there aren't. There are only bad callers if you're not doing your job, if I'm not doing mine. This was the Friday after Thanksgiving. You got to understand, I work very hard at this. I spend at least 6 hours a day in prep, reading, absorbing things, watching news on television, and that kind of thing. And I strive and work very hard at being unique and being different and trying to come up with things that the other people on the station are not going to find or are not going to be interested, the other hosts. This is a very competitive market. Not only is it cutthroat at our own station, not only do most people wish that the rest of us weren't there, we all wish the other people weren't there. Every other station in town's after you too. And so I work very hard at it. And part of working very hard at it is generating calls when you have no guests from young people. My target demographic's 25-54. That's where I want to be #1. And most talk shows skew 35-64. And I'm 37 years old. I'm the baby of the WABC staff by 9 years.
You're going to be 38 next week, though, right?
Yeah. By the time this thing airs, I will have passed that milestone.
You share a birthday with Howard Stern, by the way. You probably know that.
January 12th?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
And mine's today, so.
It is.
Yeah.
I have run into a lot of Capricorns. So anyway, the calls that were coming had nothing to do with me. I may as well have not even been there. And I lost my composure with one real idiot. And I started sounding like the exact opposite of what I want to be. I was yelling, "Shut up! Shut up!" And I swore to the audience when I got here I would never do that kind of radio. I would never get my entertainment value at the expense of callers.
Okay, well, I don't know if we can have the caller hold, because, okay, we're going to have the caller hold until, we have about a half a minute to go, but then we're going to take a break and we'll come back with a caller. But Do you have to decompress? I mean, 30 seconds we have left. Do you decompress after a show, any show? I mean, is there so much energy going on there that you just have to lay down and take a nap?
No. I'm on the air for 4 hours because the network show goes from noon to 2 in a different studio. And I'm pretty emotionally whacked at that point, but physically I'm not. And no, I go to bed at 1 in the morning. I take it easy, but I travel a lot on weekends.
All right, we'll be back in about a minute with Rush Limbaugh and the homeless George here, and see you soon. Welcome back. I'm with WABC Talk Radio host Rush Limbaugh, and Lonesome George over here is still not joining in, but if he has anything to say, I'm sure he'll say it. You know, you're basically, I think, politically conservative, and I'm not at all, but I found, you said one thing that I found had an immediate alliance with you, and it superseded any political views, that you dislike country music.
Oh, I detest it. The steel guitar and the lyrics that go with that. I mean, and you know that's among the most popular forms of music in the country. I just detest it. It's great music to make fun of. The lyric lines that you can run into. But no, it's.
But I just found it. My wife loves it, but we always have arguments about that. I just found it interesting. It's sort of up to that point. You know, I was angry at you when I heard you say that. It was like I found a friend.
Well, you know, a lot of people, anytime you express an opinion, half the people that hear it are going to disagree with it by law of average. If you embellish the opinion with confidence and cockiness, then you're getting into generating hatred and so forth. Because a lot of people would love to be confident about what they think. Most people aren't. Most people are trepid about their opinions, and if they are subjected to someone such as myself who's not, then it tends to offend them. But the key is knowing that nobody can get everybody to like them. Keeping in mind that the law of averages indicates that half the people who listen to you are not going to like you, still going to find a way to make those who don't like you enjoy listening to your program. And that is really the key to the entertainment value that the program contains.
We're going to try a call. Go ahead. If we have a caller, we'll give it a try.
Hello?
Yes?
Hello?
Yes? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
I have a question. Earlier, before the break, you said that you like to make light of subjects. You like to make jokes about them.
Well, you might have misunderstood, but go ahead and ask the question.
Well, what I wanted to know is, are there any subjects that you find taboo as far as making fun of them?
Yes. One in particular. I will not make fun of, nor will I tolerate anybody else to make jokes about the Lord. Or I will not allow any jokes about anybody's religion. I will not allow jokes about people's ethnic background or racial background or thing. I will make jokes about people's attitudes. I'll take shots at people's beliefs and that kind of thing, but not. I won't mess around at all with the private beliefs, faith, religion, race, you know, ethnic things that people can't help. Hands off.
Okay.
Easy caller.
Okay.
Easy caller. Thanks, Miggs.
Another call? Okay, let's have another one.